Hello and welcome to this Redstor video where we're going to concentrate on the recovery of Microsoft 365 SharePoint. So like you've seen in videos before this, I've made my way into the Redstor Red app and logged in as my MSP in this case, and therefore I can go over to the left hand side, click on customers, and I can see the customers that I've added. And in this case, we're going to go into blue screen broadcasting and then into the product Microsoft 365. Then into SharePoint. And as you can see, like before, I'm protecting 63 gig, 222 SharePoint sites. I've got multiple backup schedules configured throughout the day. And if I scroll down, you can see a list of my SharePoint sites. Now, in this case, I created a new site called Big SharePoint yesterday. And I've already backed up a number of different historical backups. And I can see that I'm protecting, in this case, 26 gig and 1,391 files located in that SharePoint site. So in this case, let's go to SharePoint and create a disaster. So here is my files. And once we're in there, we'll go into my invoice area. And I'm just going to go and simply delete these two files. Okay, so those files are now gone. So let's go back to the Redstor app and continue into Big SharePoint and then into the corresponding date and time and into where my files live and into One World Distribution invoices. And there are the two files I've just deleted. So in this little demonstration, I'm going to recover those files back to the original location. So I'm going to come down to the bottom right hand corner and you'll see I've got two options. I can recover those files to the original location or overwrite them if they were already existing in that location, or I can create a complete new site with just those two files in it. So in this case, I'm going to overwrite the files. Obviously they don't exist, so I'm going to choose that option. And again, like you've seen before, there is stringent security requirements to authenticate with the Red app, and then authenticate with Microsoft 365. And once you've completed the security checks, you'll be rediverted back into the Redstor Red app console, and you'll see along the top of the bar, a recovery is now in progress. So we'll wait for that restore to complete. Excellent. Now that the recovery is completed, I'll make my way up to the notifications area and I can see that my SharePoint restore has completed successfully. So all I need to do now is ask my users or my team to log back onto SharePoint, and you'll see that the files that had been previously deleted are now back in the original place as before. One of the other ways that you can access SharePoint data outside of Microsoft 365 is using our Instant Data tool. So in this case, I'm going to find my SharePoint site once more. And I'm going to choose my SharePoint site right at the very top level within the Red app. And then when I click on the Recover button on the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see that there's now a third option, Recover using Instant Data. So I'm going to choose that version and confirm the administrator permissions and pop in my 6-digit PIN code. And then authenticate with Microsoft 365. And finally, once all of the security checks have completed, I'm rediverted back into the Redstor app where I can see the name of my SharePoint site that I selected, its last successful backup date and time, how much data it's protecting, and that this link will expire in 24 hours. Now, again, I can either copy this download link to my clipboard and maybe distribute it to individual users if required. In this case, I'm going to download the tool onto my laptop. Now that Instant Data is loaded on my machine, you'll see I've got two options, either Instant Data Permanent File Recovery. This is where I want to permanently recover part or all of that 26 gig to my device. Or in this case, I just want temporary access to the data for now. So I'm going to choose temporary file access and hit Next. And then I'm going to present the last successful backup as an S drive for SharePoint. So I simply click Mount to complete the setup. Now you'll see that there is an S drive appeared on my machine. And if I browse into the S drive, I'll see my last successful backup date and time. There is the name of my SharePoint site. And there is all of my data, like before, that I can simply access instantly from within the Red app. Thanks ever so much for watching.